Mercedes are looking to bounce back after 2 seasons of Red Bull domination, and the first impressions from the Brackley factory considering the work on the W15 are promising. But more good news came recently with James Allison revealing a game-changing update that might mean that Mercedes could compete with Red Bull in 2024. How big is this update, and could it push the Silver Arrows to gain that advantage over the rest of their rivals in order to catch up to Red Bull? In 2023, it became evident that Mercedes had taken a wrong path with the W14, which prompted the Brackley-based squad to explore new strategies for competitiveness. The decision to abandon the zero pods marked the first phase of this transformative process, coinciding with the introduction of a novel aerodynamic concept at the Monaco Grand Prix. Although expectations were high for a substantial performance leap and a positive shift, the reality unfolded differently, revealing that the Monaco updates merely served as temporary fixes for underlying issues within the Mercedes car. These challenges, rooted in fundamental aspects like the chassis and mechanical platform, have become the focal points of attention for the Mercedes engineers and by James Allison. Under Allison's leadership, the team is embarking on a comprehensive overhaul of both the aerodynamics and mechanics of the car. Initial feedback from Hamilton, Russell and Toto Wolff is optimistic that the W15 is progressing in the right direction, and the modifications are addressing the critical problems the W14 had, namely its lack of stability, insufficient downforce, and struggles with top speed and straight line efficiency. These issues manifested in problems such as tire degradation and poor low downforce performance on tracks like Monza and Spa. The primary focus of change revolves around the chassis, with Allison emphasizing its pivotal role. The narrow design of the previous Mercedes monocoque, tailored for the now discarded Zero Pods aerodynamic concept, posed limitations in 2023, and with the mid-season shift towards more traditional side pods and a new gearbox design, Mercedes requires a broader chassis that offers a robust foundation while ensuring mechanical stability. The redesigned chassis opens up numerous opportunities, including the revamping of the gearbox design, involving the casing and other components, and this redesign aims to make the gearbox more compact, reducing overall drag for improved aerodynamic efficiency and higher top speeds. Beyond enhanced speed, a compact gearbox design contributes to substantial weight savings, leading to lap time gains through a lighter car. Lighter cars offer advantages in both straight line speed and maneuverability. The most noticeable alterations can be observed in the side pods of the Mercedes, with evident changes initiated in 2023 through the B-Spec upgrade. However, the full potential of Mercedes in optimizing performance around the side pods remains unrealized, as suggested by George Russell's comment during the season, expressing doubts about the W14's speed improvement. The team acknowledged the need for a different approach in the design of the side pods for the upcoming W15, though the specifics, such as whether Mercedes will adopt a double floor or downwashing side pods design, are yet unknown. Regarding suspension, Mercedes will maintain the configuration of push rods at the front and pull rods at the rear. The ongoing debate about the superiority between pull rods and push rods aside, Mercedes' chosen configuration aims to benefit the W15, particularly in curb riding aspects. While Red Bull's suspension configuration has its advantages, Mercedes seeks to carve its own path, emphasizing performance in areas where Red Bull faces challenges. A significant modification to the suspension system involves the introduction of anti-dive and anti-squat characteristics. This adjustment aims to establish a stable mechanical platform conducive to optimal downforce generation. Among the notable improvements, especially appreciated by 7-time world champion Hamilton, is the enhancement of cockpit positioning. Hamilton had frequently voiced concerns about the cockpit's position, limiting his perception of the car's rear, and the adjustments made in this regard are expected to address these issues. Mercedes technical director James Allison says changes in the team's processes following 2 disappointing campaigns will result in a different-looking car for the 2024 Formula One season. While explaining what he believes are common misconceptions around a phrase concept, Allison reveals the process that is likely to lead Mercedes' 2024 Challenger to look significantly different to its predecessors. To the mind of a designer or a performance person in F1, concept is actually nothing to do with the car, he told Sky Sports F1. It's about a process by which you decide what good looks like and what bad looks like. It's your methodology for sort of sieving out all the many things you might put on the car and finding only the ones that you really think are going to add lap time. It's method. The car itself is just the output of that method. So when you talk to us about concept, we are hearing, what, you think our wind tunnel weighting system wasn't right, and we've changed that, or our way of meshing in CFD was wrong, and we've changed the concept of that. That's what concept means to us, and a car just pops out at the far side of that when we apply that process and that concept. So, of course, the last 2 years have required us to adjust our approach and our methodology, our concept, if you will, and as a result of that, the hardware that pops out the far side of that will necessarily be different hardware because it's defined by different decisions and different weightings of what's important and what isn't. You get all excited by the end result, but actually our fate is made by the approach. Along with the side pod change, Allison made a mid-season switch from Chief Technical Officer to resume his previous role of Technical Director, swapping positions with Mike Elliott, who would then depart the team later in October. But he believes that the impact of Mercedes side pods has been exaggerated, but admits that feature was emblematic of the team's overall failings. I don't quite see the world the same way as you guys do, looking at a side pod and deciding that's a concept, he said. We definitely took a path with our car, and I would say that's from the tip of the nose to the very back of the tail, which was not a competitive one. The most visually notable aspect of that was our side pods, but by no means the definitive factor. It was not right from front to back, and that's the thing we have had to learn and have had to deal with. That's taken us longer than we would have liked. But the side pods are maybe emblematic of a team that took a little too long to figure out which way was up, but by no means the distinguishing feature that sealed our fate. In 2023, Mercedes undertook efforts to reshape the design profile of their W14 car, but the constraints imposed by F1's cost caps limited the extent of changes within the season. The most visible modification was the departure from the distinctive zero side pod appearance of the W13, and in conjunction with this adjustment, James Allison transitioned mid-season from Chief Technical Officer to his former role as Technical Director. This involved a positional exchange with Mike Elliott, who departed the team in October. These strategic moves were part of Mercedes' ongoing endeavors to adapt and optimize performance in the evolving landscape of Formula One regulations. Allison emphasized that the significance of Mercedes side pods has been overstated, acknowledging that while this feature symbolized overall shortcomings, it does not singularly define their struggles. According to him, the side pod design represents an entire conceptual approach that the team pursued for the entire car, from nose to tail, that ultimately proved non-competitive. The team's late-season understanding of the right direction faced a learning curve beyond the side pod design, stressing that it was not the sole defining element determining their fate. James Allison's return to Mercedes has brought a sense of familiarity and reassurance, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of their successful past. While this may not immediately translate into a direct challenge against Red Bull, it signifies a crucial step for Mercedes to elevate performance and distance themselves from internal struggles. The pivotal nature of Allison's role in steering the team in the right direction is highlighted. The excitement in Mercedes for 2024 is tangible, considering their ability to secure P2 in a constructor's standing despite the challenges of a failed car concept. The dissatisfaction with finishing P2 reflects the high standards set by the team. Whether Allison's statements are a PR tactic or not remains to be seen, but the evident hard work may pose challenges for rivals Ferrari and McLaren. With a positive vibe in Brackley a month before the W15 launch, the true test will be on the track during pre-season testing and the first race in Bahrain. What do you think? Can Mercedes bounce back, and is James Allison right about saying that the new car will be fundamentally different? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.